All right, we should be live. Yep.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Coming to you from our home.
Okay.
I was going to do like a TV.
Live, it's Tuesday night.
From your regular scheduled program.
That's right. So, welcome everybody. Every week we do a live here on Facebook, and then after it's done, we post it to YouTube. And unlike last week, I actually have the audio hooked up this time.
Yay!
So you should be able to hear us. So, excuse me. This is the part of the program where I, Chris, will go and post this to a bunch of different places. My ear just started ringing. That was weird.
Oh, yeah. And while Chris is posting, I will tell you all about the most boring things I can think of.
We didn't have a boring week so far.
Oh, we had a really fun week, actually. We went up to
week.
Park City, and we're hanging out with
Park City, Utah.
some new people, and it was 11 degrees.
Yeah.
We went to a delicious restaurant named Chimayo.
Chimayo? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I got buffalo and green beans with mushrooms and I think onions and asparagus on the side instead of the potatoes and all the other things that came with it, all the things. And Chris got a sirloin steak. They didn't have anything really fatty.
Yeah, we actually, I said, they were telling us about the different stuff, and I said, and it's all really lean meat. And I said,
do you have anything that's not lean?
yeah, do you have any non-lean cuts of meat? And they're like,
No. Why would anyone want that? Because they're smart.
Yeah.
That's why. We want fatty meat.
So
So we had a sirloin and asparagus.
a prawn, a big prawn.
It was a good prawn too. I had a little
That's
piece.
right.
We should have just got like 8 of those with the butter. I was really sad we didn't have butter. Oh, but they had the coolest cups. They were like pewter goblets.
Yeah, not actual
but
pewter.
they weren't, actually.
Because that's
the lead infused or whatever. Infused. Anyway, they were really cool and I wanted to buy some. But I couldn't figure out where they were from. But anyway, they were really cool. We had fun doing that on Monday night. And we went on a little walk around our little place we were staying in the freezing cold.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun. And I took a picture of the beautiful tree outside the window that just looked like Christmas, and it had all this snow on it.
Yeah, and it was snowing like the entire time we were up there.
It was super cold.
So.
But we had fun.
Yep. I'm almost done.
And Chris is almost done.
Yeah.
And I have a hair appointment tomorrow, so that's awesome. And I have a nail appointment later this week, so that's even more awesome.
Yeah.
So
super awesome.
We can think of some awesome Christmas nails for me to have. Okay, I guess we'll get started on real stuff.
Well, first off, we got a bunch of comments.
Well, let's read our comments.
Derek wants to know who the special guest star is this week.
Oh, I'm sorry, we have none.
Well, we have Sam.
I could,
I think he ran away.
There's a reindeer.
Or we could put one of the 3 Christmas trees that we have here at our house.
Only 3. There's not very many. It's just 3 trees.
That's
3
right.
at work, 3 at home.
Yep. For now.
I don't need any more trees. I did pick one up and put it in my shopping cart at Walmart the other day, and then I put it back.
Yeah, but
And
how
I
many
said,
garlands do we have?
I don't think I want to count. I think 7.
Yeah, well, and so Miriam she's experiencing a bit of refeeding syndrome.
Oh,
because last
redecorating syndrome.
Yeah, last year our house was very much not. It was under construction.
So pathetic.
The entirety of our Christmas decorations was like the night before.
Yeah, we put up our Christmas tree on Christmas Eve and then had Christmas, and the next day we took it down.
Yeah.
So they could do construction in that room. I mean, our construction guys were so awesome and they did such a great job, and we love our house, but it was pathetic. It was a pathetic Christmas.
So Miriam's,
no lights, no pretty anything anywhere.
Yeah, she's kind of overcompensating.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Plus, I have this new house. I mean, even though it's the same house, it's bigger, and so I have different places to decorate, and I just have to figure out where everything needs to go. And no.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Amanda says, "Hey there."
Hi, Amanda.
Penny's on.
And Joy. Hi, Joy. And Brent. Derek. Diane.
Linda from, that's not a place in Massachusetts.
Belerka? No.
Never even heard of that. That's cool. And Diane says she loves the shake with avocado oil.
Yes.
That's all I use. So good.
It is so
And that's actually one of the talking points tonight. Is that I'll just get to it right now. When to use heavy whipping cream versus avocado oil.
When do you want to?
Really, when you want to. If you're having any sort of digestive issues, like bloating, or you have really bad diarrhea, things like that, with the heavy whipping cream, try avocado oil.
Yep.
You may be really, really surprised. And when we actually have a conference that we're going to this weekend. It's the Utah
All you Utahns should
Nutrition
come see us.
Expo,
At the Southtown Expo Center.
which is now the
The
Mountain
Mountain whatever place.
Yes. Anyway, so we're doing that, and whenever we have people taste the different stuff, it's always just so funny because some people don't think that they're going to like the avocado oil. They think it's going to be greasy or have an oil slick, things like that.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's so good. It mixes so smooth, and it doesn't separate. So.
But some people don't like the flavor. Some people do. It's really variable. So give it a try. And when you do it with avocado oil, you will have fewer carbs, which is only going to be a good thing. So let's see.
Oh, Lori posted that Amanda posted the chicken pot pie recipe on Instagram.
Oh, did she?
She actually sent that to us. We're going to post it.
Yep. As soon as we got done with our thing today. Now we can...
Or she's going to send it to us.
Yeah, we were very, very busy the last 2 days. It was
really fun.
Yeah,
we did a lot of work.
You'll find out in March. Anyway, let's see. Derek says, what was the best keto Christmas gift you got?
Oh, whoa.
Well,
Instapot? Did we get Instapot for Christmas?
What, last year? Maybe.
I don't remember. What did we get? Got a 3D printer. That was a good Keto Chow.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with keto. But I did use it to print the Keto Chow logo. And
we got some candy. That was good.
if you go to my Thingiverse account, you can find models for beta-hydroxybutyrate, acetoacetate, and acetone.
In case you're super geeky.
In case you want to print out ketones.
And make earrings out of them.
Now, sometime in a week or two, maybe 3, I'll be getting the best keto present of all, which is my wife decided to let me start smoking meat.
Yeah.
So I've got a Rectech bowl coming.
So he bought it, ordered it, and I'm going to put a ribbon on it and say, from your wife.
Yeah. She thinks that smoking a lot of meat is a good idea.
I like it. The beef ribs from last week, so delicious. Mm-hmm. It's the second time we've smoked beef ribs.
Yep. Penny says, overcompensate away, Miriam.
Okay.
Amanda thinks our house is beautiful. Penny says we should do her house next. And Michelle says she's been trying
Amanda, you should come and be our special guest sometime.
Yes.
And then you could tell everybody about Ogden Clinic, too.
Yeah.
As well as your awesomeness.
Michelle says she's been trying to stay awake so she can watch it. Thank you.
Oh, you're so
for
nice.
joining us.
Stand up. Wake up.
Let's
That's what I do in the car before I start to fall asleep. I just smack myself. That's probably not very helpful.
Lori's going to see it. Well, Derek wants to know if Lori can send a link to the Amanda Eats Keto on Instagram, the chicken pot pie. We'll see if Lori can do that. Anyway, I mean, I could do it, but...
But then you'd have to do it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Well, I just barely posted her leftover picture on Instagram a minute ago in our stories.
Her leftover.
Yeah, she said leftovers, keto, pot pie recipe, leftovers.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't have the recipe. It's just a picture.
Lori wants to know if we have an air fryer.
No.
No, we don't. We have a convection oven.
We keep meaning to get one. Like, I keep telling myself I'm going to get one. They were on sale for $79 at Costco. Like the one that we... Oh, I drink all over. But it's okay. The spoon caught
It's got a lid.
Yeah, it has a lid. Anyway, I was gonna buy it. I researched it. I was gonna buy it, but then we thought, well, we have 2 ovens. We could just use those.
And the deep fryer.
And then we'd have one more appliance that we'd need to put
and
somewhere.
a sous vide.
which we have cupboards we could put them in, so it'd be
That's
okay.
true.
So
They are medical
We
devices.
should just get one.
All right, hey, Lori posted the
Keep
link.
telling myself.
What, the air fryer? I don't know. I just keep on coming back that it's just a convection oven that's really small.
Yeah, but then our kids can make themselves chicken legs after school snack.
And I can clean up the chicken legs all day snack.
Well, it's the same as if you do it in the oven,
I don't know.
except it's in a
We'll have to
basket. Oh, at that cute restaurant last night, Chumayo, they had these tiny little fryer baskets. They were so cute, but they didn't have anything keto in them. But they were so cute.
Yeah.
They served whatever it was in the fryer basket. I just watched them because we were kind of sitting by the kitchen, so we just watched them go by. And they had all these really cool, like, pineapple with stuff inside. Like, I don't even know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, their presentation was phenomenal.
Lori said you can make bacon in them.
Oh,
Air fryers.
nice.
This
And it
morning.
probably doesn't spit on you.
Yeah. This morning, at the thing that we were at, we got up and started helping make breakfast. And
We're the only keto people there.
yeah, we were the only keto people. Well, there was a guy whose wife is keto and a guy who has tried keto. But
They were really cool people.
They were really nice. But I got put in charge of making the sausage, and I made the eggs, and we used the leftovers from Five Guys from the day before to
So we
make
just
a
cut
frittata.
up a couple of burgers.
It was great.
And the peppers and onions and put them in and, yeah, made a frittata.
Let's see, Adam Neff says, thanks for the leftover meat the other day. We had our Keto Chow company party. And Lindsay, if you remember Lindsay from last week, she's actually, if you look at the giveaways that we've been doing lately in conjunction or in collaboration.
Collaboration.
Corroboration.
Corroboration.
That has a different connotation. With other companies, Lindsay is the one who's been doing the photos for that. And so Miriam, I guess, is that why you invited her? I had nothing to do with
Yes, because she works for us.
Yes. So
So I invited her to come
Yeah,
to
so
our company party.
we had a whole bunch of Dickie's barbecue. It was really
It
good.
was good.
And we ended up
I
with
really
a lot
like
of
the
meat.
jalapeno
Sausage? Yeah, that's good.
It's kind of spicy, though.
Man, the brisket was good. It wasn't Texas barbecue
Yeah,
good.
Nothing is Texas
Nothing is Texas
good.
barbecue good. But
We have a problem now that we've been to Texas a couple times. We kind of have a high standard of barbecue. And you know what? The Kansas City stuff was really good, too. We just had to get it without the sauce.
yeah. Now, Brent says, I was actually disappointed with an air fryer. They're low capacity and a mess. It's easier to put a rack on a jelly roll pan in the convection oven. So,
Hey, what kind of rack did you get? Like, is it just like a cookie rack or something that
it's
fits
probably
in your pan?
just the
You know,
like
some of
the,
them come with them.
Yeah.
Let's order one of those.
Okay.
You can put it in my stocking. I have a big stocking. Actually, for reals, we do have some stockings that are like
We do. We have
that
four
are
of them.
this wide. We have 4 of them because our babies were born
Our-
in December.
both of
and
our
they
sets of
get to go
twins.
home in a stocking that's baby size.
Yep.
And so you can actually fit them in the stocking.
They're huge.
So 2 of them say Merry Christmas because they were in born in 2001. But the second 2 were born in 2005, and they say Happy Holidays.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I did not notice that.
So that they're not discriminating against people who don't celebrate Christmas.
Okay. But who have twins?
Well, yeah.
Or it's
not
probably just any
Not
baby.
just twins, babies.
Did Sam come in one
No,
of those?
I think they probably stopped doing
Oh my
that.
gosh.
It was kind of a bummer because he did want one. He was born in December. He's like, how come I don't have a stocking? Sorry, they don't like you enough. Weird, huh?
4 of your siblings have one. You can borrow one of
I
theirs.
know.
Put it
well,
on your
and
head.
the thing is, why are we even keeping them? They're like ridiculously huge. they're like really fat.
What is this useful for?
Here we go. They're like this fat. They're bigger than the camera.
Yeah,
is
they're
on.
huge.
They're just they're huge. We couldn't use them to fill up their stuff because
No.
then that would be not fair for the rest of the family.
Yeah, Brent says it's just a standard baking rack.
Oh, nice.
Sits about an inch above the pan. Helps with airflow. So there you go.
Okay.
That would work really well for wings too.
Yeah.
Miriam likes wings.
I've
So
been loving wings lately. Holly, speaking of wings, found a low carb recipe for the Lone Star.
yes,
Longhorn
Steakhouse.
Wings, and she made them for our Halloween party. I mean,
Halloween party, Christmas party. You mean December ween? It's 55 days after Halloween.
Excuse me. I'm at Christmas party, and she made like triple the amount so we could just stick it under our salt and pepper shaker.
Yep.
So we have one that just has wing seasoning in it.
Longhorn Steakhouse wing seasoning.
Yep.
Yeah, on the blue thing of...
of tape.
Yeah, it totally doesn't match any of the other
Painter's
spices.
tape. Don't worry, we can print out a cute label soon enough.
So Benny wants to know what we put in our wings. Well, in this case, we're just getting the frozen ones from Sam's Club or
Yeah,
Costco.
we should just get fresh ones. I'm sure they're so much better.
But
There's got to be fresh wings.
yeah, but these ones, I mean, seriously, you just bake them. And about halfway through, you pour off all the stuff, flip them over, and bake them longer.
Yeah, because chicken
But
is watery.
you wouldn't have to do that if you were using one of those rack things. So,
Yeah. But then it would like
Can
be
you
steaming
smoke
in
wings?
addition to challenge accepted.
Oh, man. That'd be fantastic.
This
Okay.
week in the Bears schedule is going to be wings.
Although I have to check and see if the smoker is still functional.
Oh, this is so awesomely sad. So when we did the ribs on Saturday,
They were smoking all day.
yeah, he pulled them out and they were super charred on the top and they
Well,
were
no,
really
no.
tasty.
Let's go back. So I'd been smoking them all day, like 7-8 hours.
Yeah.
And I left to take some kids to an appointment.
Okay.
And I'd been babysitting it all day. Going so far as to taking a Nest Wi-Fi camera and pointing it at the Wi-Fi thermometer, not Wi-Fi thermometer, just the wireless thermometer thing that was keeping track of how the smoker was going, so that I can monitor it from everywhere. And driving around, and I think I went to Lowe's twice.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I had something. I was gone all day.
yeah. Oh, yeah, you were going at that meeting. So I left to go there, and everything has been fine. I come back, and like something had gone wrong, and it's a propane-fired smoker, and it has a little bowl down in the bottom that you put the chunks of wood in. And they had spontaneously combusted and lit on fire, and the temperature in the smoker had gone from 250, 275 to 800, just in a matter of minutes. And I went out there and I'm like, oh crap! And so I opened it up, and
Pull them out. They
Like-
look like they're burnt.
one of the ribs was literally on fire.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
I pulled it out, and I was like,
This is right next to our house, right?
yeah, right next to our house.
Like,
And so we're like,
giant
oh dang!
extra.
So we close it, bring it inside,
And he's babysitting the ribs. They're like, so Steve and he are covering them in parchment paper and taping them
and
all
aluminum
closed.
foil and stuff.
Doing all this little fancy whatever stuff.
Did you go to take the
So
garbage
I went
out?
to take the garbage out the back door, and I look out the back door, and there's like, and I just glance down the way, and there's like 4 cars that stopped like in the middle of the road by our fence and are running towards the house, like towards our house, like in a panic. And I'm looking at them, and I'm like, there's guys running towards our house, and I bet it's the smoker that they're seeing that's smoking, and it's just billowing black smoke because it had a little grease fire
Yeah,
in the bottom.
Little grease fire.
Whatever.
There was fire up the entire
Oh my
inside.
gosh, that could have been our house.
Well, it was the inside of the smoker. All of the creosote that had built up over the last like 2-3 years, because it's impossible to get it completely clean. So all of the stuff that had built up was,
So clean your smokers periodically.
or
Not every.
just high fire them
2
every once in a
years.
while. But it was pretty epic. I actually grabbed the fire extinguisher. We have a commercial grade fire extinguisher. I got it from Costco a while ago.
Was
but-
the one that's right here?
Yeah, there's the one right there.
Oh, yeah.
Opened it up. It's the first time I've ever used a fire extinguisher in my life.
Did
But
you figure it out okay?
I had watched the IT Crowd,
You serious?
where Moss learns how to use a
Oh my
fire
gosh.
extinguisher.
Pull out.
Stand
the pin.
upright. Well, now I can't read. Oh, I'm a silly goose. Anyway, sorry. That's a funny show, by the way. The
What a
IT Crowd.
goody goose.
Yes, but I put out the fire and everything was fine. But it was still like totally glowing coals down there. It's like, I want to light on fire again. But anyway,
So that smoker might be the way of the
I might be getting the new smoker just in time.
Yeah.
So
And maybe you could clean that one sometimes. That'd probably be good.
That one actually has a drip pan, and it goes out into a bucket.
Okay, then you could dump the bucket.
Yes.
So you're just smart.
And then there's ash that you have to clean up. But anyway, okay. Let's get to our, people haven't asked questions for a bit, so we're going to talk about some of the stuff.
Ask questions.
Well, they're not asking questions right now.
Well, what if I want to see what they're going to say?
Well, I made it really big.
Okay.
Here, I'll scoot this over.
Okay.
See there?
Snickerdoodle is on sale. Did we
Yes.
already say that?
No, we did not. The flavor of the week,
on sale.
Snickerdoodle.
Lots of people like Snickerdoodle.
I like Snickerdoodle.
I want someone to make it into Snickerdoodle cookies.
That'd be pretty interesting.
And then I should taste it with some eggnog. That's what I want.
Yep. It's kind of buttery and cinnamony.
Speaking of cookies, I took some Nui cookies and dipped them into a Keto Chow cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream.
It was really good.
Yep.
If ever you want to try that.
Michelle wants to know how long
combination.
you have been doing keto.
About 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just about, I think.
Yep.
I think it was like October. When was it?
No, it was because you started about 6 months after I did.
Really?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
not very long.
No,
Long?
not very long. It might have been a year
I'm
after
sorry.
I did, but I've been doing it for 4 years. So
Yeah, it's probably 3. 3 something.
3 something.
3 something. I've lost like 30 pounds and gained some back and lost some and, kind of.
It really helps when we. It really helps when we don't snack.
I miss our kids. We haven't seen them in 2 days.
Yeah.
I want to goof off for a minute.
We kind of abandoned them,
Excuse us.
but did Holly take Sam? No, did pick up Sam?
No.
No, she didn't have to do that. How did Sam get home?
His normal ride.
How did Sam get home today?
His normal ride brought him
Oh,
home.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
cool.
got it worked out.
Nice.
We got home.
Apparently, I wasn't paying attention.
Snickerdoodle's on sale.
Yes. Next, Amanda Dees asked a question in the Keto Chow Facebook support group about what to do when you hit a plateau, and another person asked a question about what to do when you hit a plateau on our Keto Chow Reddit group. So there's a bunch of things you can do, and I have a lot of experience with hitting plateaus.
Since that's where we live. We live in a plateau.
So there's a couple things you can do, and I'm speaking to myself here, so come along for the ride. Number one, track your food. You would be absolutely floored.
That you're eating too much.
Mm-hmm.
You're just
Especially if you
eating
snack.
too much.
Really, the number one thing you can do
Snacking is horrible.
is don't snack.
Which we did awesome in November and didn't snack.
Yeah, no snack
Actually,
November.
I haven't really been. I'm kind of still in that mindset where
I'm going to
like,
stay in that mindset.
if I'm going to eat something, it has to be with part of my meal. And then if it's a snack and I think, well, I have this much meal and I want to eat it, then I'm going to omit it because I don't want to not have. I don't want to miss out on my meal. So I'm kind of being really careful with what snacks I'm having now. So that's been good.
So that's a good one. Sometimes people can break through stalls by increasing their calorie amounts and get their metabolism going. Other times they need to lower their. So other times people will have amazing success breaking a stall by doing time restricted feeding. So not eating until like
12 or something.
Well, or even like 4 or 6 o'clock p.m. Eating a big dinner and then not eating again until that time the next day.
So OMAD. Well, actually,
kind of like 1
Holly
meal
and
a
I
day.
did OMAD for a minute last week.
Yeah, last week.
Did all but I think one day. Holly and I did 1 meal a day, and I was really, really loving it. So.
Well, that 1 meal a day was like awesome sauce.
Yeah, and then I made a really good dinner, and I ate it, and it was delicious, and I had butter with it, and yeah, it was really good.
Yep.
And it made me look forward to dinner because I felt like I needed to eat food. So I wanted to eat. So I really like doing the OMAD actually, which is funny because I've been so terrified to do it, but I've done a lot of 24-hour fasts and even some 36-hour fasts. So it's not that different. It's just a 24-hour fast, except you don't have to track the hours specifically. Like, I think the thing that I stressed out so much about was hitting the 24 when I was hungry at 4 o'clock and I couldn't eat till 5. So then I felt like I was dying. But when I just said I was doing OMAD, I'm like, okay, well, I can eat 1 meal a day. And then if I made my dinner at 4, then I was fine. And like, it was just funny because
less regimented.
Yeah, even though I had already hit 24 hours from the day before. Like there was one day we didn't even eat dinner till like 7 because we had a performance at Festival of Trees with our son's orchestra, and we didn't eat dinner till super late. But I still hadn't eaten the entire day, so I probably hit like 26 hours instead, and I didn't feel like I was dying. I felt just great. So it's interesting how so much of eating is mental, snacking, or boredom. Like it's just like I just have to eat, or you see something, oh, that sounds good. I want to taste that. Well, do you need it? Like listen to your body. Like I've been checking in with myself. Okay, stomach, am I hungry?
Am I actually hungry?
I'm not actually hungry. I'm just kind of bored, and I kind of got go through the motions of munching, and that I think is a huge problem for me.
Penny wants to know if you use fasting drops when you do OMAD.
Yes, absolutely, because otherwise I'll get a headache. And so I did that a lot. I just put fasting drops on like everything I drank, but I didn't put a ton, but I did that.
Are you still doing the recommended dose, or are you like me and double it up?
No, I just kind of put whatever. I just
there you
go. I don't usually get to the point where I taste it, so I don't do double, but I do probably a little bit more than a recommended dose on the thing.
So more than a half cap.
More than a half a cap. And it's funny because I find that I am wanting that extra salt, so I'll put it in and then I like lick the top of my my bottle or something, and I taste the salt and it tastes good. So
that means you need more.
I think that's kind of our body saying that we need more salt.
Well, that's a really important thing, that your palate will be driven by what you need. And a lot of one of the classic signs of, for instance, of iron deficiency, of anemia, is that women specifically, they'll chew on like clay. And it's their body just saying, "I need to have this iron," and so listen to your palate. If you'd be surprised at what your body, what you think will taste good just because you're deficient in it. And if you can't taste the saltiness in something that's really salty, that means that you need more salt. So we have a friend who, when she does the fasting drops, she just keeps on adding more and more and more until it tastes salty to her. And then she's like, okay, that's enough. Yeah. And sometimes it's like 4 or 5 times the recommended dosage. So anyway.
Another thing I was thinking about is your set point. Like you kind of have, your body has a certain set point weight that your body likes to stick to and stay at. And so your body will kind of keep that set point. And so trying to get under a certain weight, like you fluctuate 2 or 3 pounds and you're fine, but that's still within the set point, that like 160 pounds or whatever it is. And you just have a hard time getting under that. And so that's when like fasting or even doing like Keto Chow only for like a day or 2 can really kind of kickstart you into that
plateau,
underneath that set point. And I think it's really hard to break that because your body says, well, this is where you want to be. This is where I want you to stay. And so you just can't get under that. You have to have a deficiency in calories, and you don't want to have too much of a deficiency, but
deficit.
That's what I meant. Sorry, yeah. Deficit. So that's why losing weight is so hard. Maintaining is just, a lot easier because your body naturally does that. Mm-hmm. You naturally just can listen to your body, and your body wants to get a little bit less than what it does to maintain that body weight.
Well, not everybody has to have a supermodel body, and if your body is happy, where it's,
I want to have one of those.
If you're healthy, where at a specific weight, it might be that your body wants to be at that weight, and it's like it's adapting to what you do with it, and saying, okay, well, your level of activity, what you choose to do, this works with the weight that we're at, so I'm just going to maintain this. I'm going to maintain the metabolism where it is and where I'm burning calories, and I'm going to prioritize growing of hair because I have enough calories and all this other stuff. Mm. Whereas if you go below that to a certain extent, it's going to say, hey, I don't know why we're not getting enough calories, but I'm going to shut down some of these non-essential processes so that we can continue keeping the fat cells where they're supposed to be. And you're like, dude, cut it out. And it's like, hey, why are you fighting me on this? That's why it's generally not recommended to go more than a 15% calorie deficit over what your base metabolic rate is. So if you go to a place and you get like a DEXA scan, or you figure your height and your weight and how old you are and your activity, and you say, okay, I need 1,800 calories a day to maintain my weight. You don't want to go more than about 15% below that, because then your body will start shutting down, because it's smart. If you don't give enough calories, it will turn off non-essential functions. It'll lower your metabolism. So, you do still need to restrict calories in order to lose weight, but by far the number one thing you can do is make sure that you're keeping your carbs down. You're eating fat to satiety, and you've got the protein where it's supposed to be. So the two keto dudes harp on this a lot, and rightly so. So let's see.
Plateaus.
Plateaus. Well, we're kind of done with that. Can you add fasting drops to
Coffee, diet, soda, tea, etc.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Like I said, I was adding fasting drops to everything I drank when I was doing OMAD. And I think I'm going to do it some more because I liked it.
Yep. And I like to tell people that when we first introduced fasting drops, I didn't really have much information on the website about them, because to me it was a very simple product that didn't need an explanation, but apparently I was wrong. Basically, you use it the same way you would salt. Like some people, this is an alien concept to them. But me personally, when I'm doing fasting, I used to add like pink Himalayan salt or the gray Celtic salt to my water. Just because those have the trace minerals, and the gray Celtic salt is known for having more magnesium, I think, and potassium, I think. But when you mix those into your water, you end up with a whole bunch of sand at the bottom of your bottle or your cup, and they kind of taste like dirt. That's one of the problems with like real salt as well, which is made here in Utah,
which we really like.
Yeah, we do.
We like salt. We like real salt. It's our favorite salt.
Yeah,
and pink Himalayan salt.
That's what I put on all the food that I'm cooking. Is
and
the
did
real
you know
salt.
that real salt has different flavors of salt, like garlic salt and celery salt?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, Dory Sonberg was posting about.
Okay.
So we got to get some of those yummas. That could be in my stocking too.
Lori says, "Don't try the fasting drops under your tongue." Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have put them on my tongue, though, and they're super salty.
Well, it's because you had like a headache or something. You're
sometimes
just like,
I'll just be like, I cannot get it fast enough, so I just squirt it in my mouth because I just can't do it.
But in case you're wondering, it is possible for something to be saltier than rock salt.
Oh, yeah.
Because rock salt takes a while to dissolve. The fasting drops, it's already
super salty,
pre-dissolved
really
in a liquid
salty
medium, and it's just like, bam! Anyway. So yeah, you can add it to whatever you like, and really just that's the point I was making about I didn't have a lot of information up or a lot of like how to use it, because for me it was just intuitive. I put salt in water however much I want, and that's it. And so I've had to add that to the web page to tell people, okay, well, this is how you use it. Use it like you would pink Himalayan salt, but just enjoy the fact that it doesn't taste like dirt and things like that. So Linda says, so is Snickerdoodle on sale now? Yes.
Snickerdoodle's on sale.
It is on sale. And apparently it's like National Cookie Day.
What?
Lori said, hey, today is National Cookie Day. Works with Snickerdoodle on sale.
Yay.
So, and Christine
That's
says...
kind of a wimpy yay.
Christine says, I buy real salt at the health food store. Definitely tastes different from regular table salt.
Yeah, I like it.
And yeah, and
it's really good.
We have the coarse stuff in our salt grinders,
and then we have the pourable one.
Yeah, the pourable one.
Yeah, but I like that it has like different colors. It's not just white.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
And it's so funny when the real salt, like, okay, my dad had a friend who used to
Redmond salt.
Yeah, it is Redmond. Well, Redmond, Utah is where real salt is mined.
They're the same?
Yeah, but back 10 years ago, humans didn't eat real salt because it was gross. It's got dirt in it. It was only used for agricultural. uses for salt licks and things like that. They would take the big giant salt crystals straight out of the ground and sell it, or they would press it into the big blocks. And it's exactly the same stuff as what you're getting from the human one. Although I think the human one, they use cleaner machines to process it.
I'd hope so.
Yeah, but
Human machines.
But it's they say that they have enough in there for, I think it's like 1,000 years.
Yeah, I love it how it has to have an expiration date,
Well, no.
but then it's 1,000 years.
No, so it has an expiration date because by law you're required to have an expiration date on everything. And the longest you can have, I think, is 5 years
So
from the date of
years,
manufacture.
But
Yeah, it's like
years old.
it took 5 million years to form, and it expires in 5 years. Great, that's awesome. No, but they say that there's enough of the salt in the Redmond salt mine for it to last, like, I think it was 1,000 years at the current levels of extraction. So there's a lot of salt in there. Anyway. We got to when to use heavy whipping cream versus avocado oil. So in case you missed that, just rewind. So we get by far one of the most popular questions that we get is, there's a problem with my order. So
it's not by far the most.
I know.
popular
Well, we get it. So
we do have problems with orders sometimes.
And we recently just started. There's a lady who works at our office who. She's been doing some of the order fulfillment. I don't know why that's hard to say.
For a long time.
And she's actually been helping us out since the early days of Keto Chow.
Yep.
Way back when. Her and her husband. And anyway, she's Jen. If you have a problem with an order or you have questions, chances are now she'll be the one answering
If
it.
you have a problem,
I'll solve it. Check out the people. T-shirt. What was it? Ice.
Yes, so
Just
write to
dated
Jen
ourselves.
at orders at ketochow.xyz, and she will fix your problem.
She will. So if your bag is damaged, if you open up your order and there's something wrong with it,
or if it didn't get there, she'll make sure we figure out what happened.
Or if the post office says they delivered it and they're lying,
because they make mistakes too,
and sometimes they lie,
and sometimes they make mistakes.
And she will get a hold of it and track down and if necessary, send you out a replacement, things like that.
Which we are happy to do. We want you to be happy.
Yep, and we want you to have your Keto Chow. So if there's a problem, we'll get it right. So just give us a buzz and yeah. So let's see. Oh man, our viewership dropped.
Oh,
Dang
they don't
it.
want to know about our Jen? No.
Yeah,
they
they
probably just had to go to bed.
Yeah, that's true.
They're tired. Or take a bath.
We have a good friend who right now is trying to do 3 meals of Keto Chow a day. And so our next thing is, how do you calculate the amount of fat to use in Keto Chow? So we were at a show, we were showing him how to mix it up, and he was like, oh, that's how you do it. Because he had some before and didn't mix it up right. So he mixed it up the same way I told him I was mixing up the samples, but he's a bigger guy, and so he needed more fat. And so he called me on Sunday, and he's like, hey,
I'm starving to death.
I'm really hungry. I've had 2 of these, and I'm just like, it's just not filling me up. I'm like, oh, how much fat did you put in there? He's like, well, I put like 1 or 2 inches, or 1.5 inches. I'm like,
that's not enough.
That's not enough. Let me explain. Anyway, so
Let me sum up.
No, take too long. Let me sum up. On the How to Prepare Keto Chow page, there is a calculator that you put in how many calories you want a day. It takes that number and divides it by 3, assuming that you're going to have 3 meals in a day, and at least one of them being Keto Chow. Or you can do all 3 Keto Chow. That's entirely up to you, whatever. But it's just going to take the number that you give it and divide it by 3. So let's say you put in 1,500 calories. It's going to divide it by 3, 500 calories a meal.
Da, da, da.
So it will take the amount of calories in Keto Chow itself, which is like 126, subtract that from the 500. And then there is a slider that you can use that you can tell it, I want all heavy cream or I want all avocado oil. Actually, it just says oil because you can use MCT oil as well. Just don't use a lot.
Or olive oil if you want it to taste
If you
weird.
really wanted to. Or you can put it right in the middle and give half of your calories from heavy cream and half of your calories from avocado oil. Then you can select the unit of measurement that makes sense to you, like milliliters or tablespoons
Or ounces.
And it'll tell you how much to use of avocado oil or heavy cream, and then what the macros will be for what you've selected. So I walked him through that, and he was going to end up using like 4 ounces of heavy cream with like 2 ounces of avocado oil was what was going to work for him.
Yeah, 'cause he's like 6'5" or 6'6" or
Yeah,
something.
he's a big guy.
He's a big guy.
So, yeah, make sure you're calculating your calories right, because one of the...
It will help you succeed.
Yeah, and we are more than happy to answer your question and
Yes.
walk you through
And
it.
Jen
but-
will also
Yes,
be happy
Jen will
to
be
answer
very
your
happy.
questions. You can talk to all 3 of us.
Yep.
Or Holly, she gets on a lot too.
That's
She's
true.
super helpful.
Yeah, we got 4 of us answering questions there.
Yeah, we're so helpful.
But,
We want to help you the best we can.
yep. So, yeah, calculate it, and there you go. Let's see.
So Christine just said, how often do you need to recalculate your macros?
Ooh.
So we were talking about plateaus a minute ago.
Yep.
And sometimes if you are having a plateau, but you figured out your macros just right, and you're still not doing anything, you may want to try something totally new or different.
Yeah.
Or try going low, or try going higher, try anything different. And that usually will help.
But generally speaking, to answer your question about recalculating macros, if you're losing weight, probably about every 10 pounds, recalculate your macros.
Because you'll just get stuck. And then, you won't be losing anymore, and depending on if you want to keep losing or not, or
Yep.
whatever.
And when we talk about macros, a lot of people get stuck on percentages. Please don't use percentages. Percentages is I guess, it's the bad way to do it. I can't think of a better way to explain that. You want to use grams. We're talking about how many grams of protein you need a day, how many grams of carbohydrates, and how many grams of fat. Dr. Jeff Gerber, he gives he gave a talk. Well, he gave it at Low Carb
Is
Houston.
it in his book?
I don't know if it's in his book, but
Eat
he
rich,
talks.
live long.
He talks about percentages, and if you're on a super low calorie diet, the percentages would look completely different from if you're on a very high calorie diet. But you still have to stick under 20 grams of carbs a day, and so don't do percentages. Please don't do percentages. That's not how you calculate a ketogenic diet. And people are going to disagree with me.
That's okay.
That's okay. They're wrong.
We can agree to disagree.
But you really want to use...
And percentages probably work for some people.
Yeah. But if you're eating a 6,000 calorie diet, it's possible.
Yeah,
or a
that's what I
3,000
eat.
calorie diet, if you're going off the traditional percentages on carbohydrates, 5% is going to be really high on the amount of carbs, and you're probably not going to get into nutritional ketosis. You're going to be like, why isn't this working? And it's because you're going off percentages. And don't worry about percentages. We're talking about absolute values. Stay under 20 grams of carbs, enough protein for lean body mass, which is generally speaking between 1 and 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of lean body mass, which is a difficult mouthful. But for most people, it's anywhere from 75 to 120 grams. And one thing that Dr. Ben Bickman has taught us, curse you, Ben, no, is that in the context of a ketogenic diet, having more protein isn't a bad thing. So, and Nicole Racine, the nurse, she taught us that upping your protein can a lot of times be really good. So don't be afraid of the steak.
Yep. And even Maria Emmerich, we talked about this a couple of lives ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She said that if you ever have hair loss, then it might be you're not getting enough protein. And so even just the protein amounts that are the dietary recommended protein amounts may not be enough for what your body needs.
Oh, yeah, I'm in, okay now.
Come over here.
Okay. So, somebody on the Keto Chow subreddit said, don't try swamp flavored Keto Chow.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
So what they meant by that was they had done a whole bunch of different bags of Keto Chow, and there was like a fourth of a serving left in
like
each
the
one.
little dregs? Ew,
Yeah, the little
and they
dregs.
mixed them all
They
together?
mixed them all together.
You've done that before.
I have done that
'Cause
before.
that's gross.
If you keep all of the chocolate ones together, it's generally
Yeah.
fine.
Strawberry and banana together was
Strawberry
good.
and banana. Strawberry and chocolate isn't bad. And
Chocolate and vanilla. Vanilla would go with anything, really.
yeah. But if you're mixing like cookies and cream and banana and chocolate and mint chocolate,
We shouldn't even
and,
be talking about this. That's gross.
and I've done that before, and it was no bueno. So yeah, don't do that.
Why? It's like putting everything in your blender at the same time and not even caring about what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So,
Last thing that we have on our predefined what we're talking about is somebody on the Keto Chow subreddit posted a orange cream hack. And I was like, what did you do? Freeze them? I've already done that. No, he added cocoa powder.
so it was like a chocolate orange?
Yeah, it was like a chocolate
Did it
orange.
taste like a
Oh,
chocolate
they said it
orange?
was fantastic.
Or was it a chocolate ice cream orange?
He said it was like a chocolate orange. So there you go.
Let's try it.
I know, right? So Christine said one more question off topic. Just read a post by Christy Davis. Her doctor said she recommends keto diet unless you are diabetic because of their kidneys. You kidding
That's
me?
like opposite of what you should do.
Oh man.
If you're diabetic, you should be keto because of your kidneys.
Yeah, because of you. Okay, if you want someone to tell you about the effects of a ketogenic diet on kidneys, I would recommend Dr. Jason Fung, who is a nephrologist. That means his specialty is
kidneys.
That's all he does. He actually started looking into a ketogenic diet and fasting. He's kind of the king of fasting, along with Megan Ramos. They
She's
started,
not a king. She's the queen of fasting.
That's true. But they started looking into a ketogenic diet because they kept on dealing with patients who had end-term kidney failure. Hi, Ruth. And he wanted to see if a ketogenic diet was something that he could use to reverse the damage that had been done to their kidneys. Because he'd been hearing all this stuff about it. And, they explained the...
Has fasting drops in it.
Okay, I don't care.
he just wants some water.
She wants my
It'll
water
keep you nice and hydrated.
with my fasting drops in it.
Yeah.
That tastes weird.
It tastes
Oh,
awesome.
and Brent says, keeping in mind that most doctors don't recommend keto. Yeah, and it's because they're just going off the little bit of dietary advice or nutrition training that they got in high school. I mean, not high school, med school, for about 10 minutes. In fact, I think Ken Berry even said, sorry, oh, there we go.
It's not my fault you keep getting out of frame. You don't want to sit by me.
It's true. Well, yeah.
And he must think I stink.
But Ken Berry, I think it was.
I don't think I stink. I smell
He
amazing.
he actually looked. He pulled out all of his when he was first, starting his keto journey. He pulled out all of his notebooks to look at all the information he had gotten about nutrition when he was in med school, and there was like a page of notes. There was like nothing. Anyway, but Dr. Jason Fung, one of the things they came away with was that a ketogenic diet will getting your glucose under control. If your kidneys are being damaged by too much glucose in your system and hyperinsulinemia that causes it, going on a ketogenic diet and getting your glucose in control will stop the progress of the disease.
It just won't reverse it.
Yeah, kidneys are funny. Once they're damaged,
They're
That's it.
damaged.
they are damaged. There is no going back. They liken it to if you don't change the oil in your car, it will cause irreparable damage. And it will never get better unless you take the engine out and put a new one in. Even if you start changing the oil at that point and get things under control and everything's fine, it'll still be damaged. And so sadly, they weren't able to reverse people's kidney damage using a ketogenic diet, but at least they were able to halt the progress. If you read Yeah, one time doctors recommended cigarettes. That's true.
Yeah. Well, there was bloodletting. There's all kinds of things that are not
But even recently.
practiced now.
But there's also a book by Dr. I think it's James Nicolantino. I probably just killed it.
What is it about?
It's called The Salt Fix. That's a lot
Oh.
easier to find.
Just find the salt fix.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, well, he was interviewed on a whole bunch of podcasts when the book came out. I always refer people to the podcast with the two keto dudes because they do a really good job of explaining the science in very simple
Did
terms.
Jimmy have him on?
I'm sure he did. I know that Keto Evangelist had him on too.
Oh. Look up the salt fix guy.
But the takeaway is that having more salt is actually easier on your kidneys, and that everything that we've learned about salt in the last 50 years is it's not the salt that's causing the problem. It's having too much insulin and too much glucose and too many carbs, which are all tied together. Oddly enough, I just today, because of a project I was working on, I was looking for stock photos of salt. And surprisingly, when you search for stock photos of salt, you find pictures of salt, but you also find a lot of pictures of no salt, and ladies holding up their hands and to a salt shaker.
Yeah. Oh, my urologist told me not to eat salt anymore.
Yeah. So, anyway, Kathy says, I have to say that my diabetes has been reversed because of the keto diet. Not taking medications anymore.
Kathy!
Fantastic. That's
Kathy's the best.
That's
Can you
right.
imagine, though, really? I mean, that's not my world, but her whole world has changed.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so amazing.
Congratulations. Then, of course, who was it? There's a lady in our keto meetup group who she went on a keto diet, and she says she has diabetes type 1.5.
Is she the one that came in 3 times last
Yeah, she is. She's great.
What is her name? She's so cute. She's so little. She has size 5 feet.
But her pancreas doesn't work, then it just starts working all of a sudden.
Yeah, so
And
she
it's-
has insulin, but she doesn't have to take it all of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, she went on keto and it really, she said she only had taken insulin once since she went on keto, so it really helped her a lot.
Yeah,
Anyway, it was
and
really
she's completely
cool to
off
talk
her
with
meds,
her.
isn't she?
And she's been trying, she's completely off her meds. She just has the insulin so that she can take it if she needs it. But she has she had a pump. Yeah, that was it. She had a pump and then she got off the pump, but she still has insulin because if her pancreas only works part of the time, she's still going to have to be on insulin, but she doesn't have to take any kind of other medications and then only needs insulin if she has to. But she said she only had to take it once.
And her husband had
Since she's been on
recorded
keto, yeah.
he had recorded her endocrinologist they went in for a visit. The endocrinologist came in and looked at
Her A1C went down to 4.9.
from
is what it
really
was.
high,
Yeah.
and she was like, "What are you doing?"
Are you having lots of lows? She just kept saying, are you having lots of lows? Are you having lots of lows?
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm awesome. So she thought she was just not, I don't know what she thought.
When Linda says, I have kidney disease at 41 operations. Whoa.
Whoa.
My transplant doctor can't believe how great my blood test numbers are from eating keto since February. Lost 70 pounds in 8 months.
Wow, Linda, you're amazing.
And she said, keep up the good work. That's
that's so
maximizing the investment of your transplant right there.
Oh, I'm so glad.
It is really sad how doctors will... A lot of people will say, don't do a keto diet because it's bad for your kidneys. The exact opposite is true.
Yeah.
It's really the best thing you could do for your kidneys. Anyway, but they also, like they said, used to recommend cigarettes. So Alec says, thank you guys for this awesome product. And let me make this go away.
He has a
Go
little
away. There we
application.
go. Any experience or knowledge on the interaction of coffee added into Keto Chow and the absorption of vitamins and minerals? I know coffee has that potential by itself, and I feel mixed directly in it may especially depreciate the effective absorption
That would
of
be
Keto
something
Chow.
we'd probably need to get tested, with some medical testing.
So me personally, I think the coffee smells like burnt toast.
We just don't like it.
It's
So we don't drink it. So we haven't tested anything like that before.
So I have no experience personally. I know that Dave Feldman has done some pretty intensive testing on himself in regards to the effects of coffee on a ketogenic diet, but I don't know about the effectiveness of vitamin absorption in the presence of coffee and caffeine and all that. I do know how it affects the viscosity of Keto Chow. A lot of people have reported in the Keto Chow subreddit. In fact, if you go on the How to Prepare Keto Chow page, down near the bottom, there's a pink box with a coffee bean that talks about recipe hacks. You go to that page.
That's the coffee recipe hack section?
Well, it's not just coffee.
Oh.
There's a whole bunch of recipe hacks, like adding Jell-O to your Keto Chow.
Or you can go in the toolbar under information and there's a recipes tab.
Yes, and there's a hacks there.
That's where I go.
So that'll take you right to a search on the Keto Chow subreddit for coffee. And there's a lot of people talking about adding coffee. Most people find that they have best results if they don't replace all of the water in Keto Chow with coffee. And they also find better results if they use cold brew or coffee that they made and now it's cold because they refrigerated it because it was leftover.
Oh, okay.
But some people have reported that if they've tried, I think it was if they tried warm coffee or they tried replacing all of the water with coffee, that it like gelled the Keto Chow. It just made it super thick.
Oh,
I don't know if
well, that would make sense, though.
Yeah, so what most people have recommended
So if you
doing,
want pudding coffee.
what most people have recommended doing is just replacing part of the water.
Or people use like Keto Chow as a creamer,
Yeah.
I think, too.
We actually have...
We have quite a few people who do that.
So one of the ladies who runs KetoCon...
One of the ladies.
Hello, ladies. When we did KetoCon, we provided samples for the swag bags, and they ended up with like a whole bunch left over. And she's been using it, the salted caramel Keto Chow, for her coffee creamer for the last like...
Wow.
like several months.
I don't know if she does it every day.
The way that she talked about it, she did. So
she's really nice. We like her. We
is.
love KetoCon. It's so fun.
Yep. We're going this next year.
Yeah.
Let's see what
I hope we see you all there.
We're going. So we've got a conference this weekend.
Yeah.
That's the Utah Nutrition Expo.
If you live in Utah, you should come see us.
It's kind of small. Do you want me to get the door, or do you want to do
I'll
it?
get it.
Okay. Because if I get the door, you'll just pay attention to that, right?
And then I'll just not listen.
Yep. So we're doing the Utah Nutrition Expo. It's this weekend. We're going to be doing, let's see, I'm trying to remember what comes first. I think Low Carb Denver, which is oddly enough in Denver. We're doing that next. We'll have a booth there. There's FitCon, which is again here in Utah. That one's going to be at the Salt Palace. We'll be doing that I think it's sometime in April. This is probably the first time you've ever heard about this. We are throwing around the possibility of organizing a Utah keto conference sometime in April as well. The Low Carb Denver. Keto Fest. Don't want to bend my arm that way.
Sorry.
No, it's just Keto Fest will be coming up in June.
They have a date though, don't they?
I think they do.
We'll get it up. Lowcarbevents.com.
Yep.
We put everything into a calendar so that you
That's
can...
why I don't remember all these, because I
Yeah.
wrote it down.
Write it down.
So,
Offload the information.
yep.
Anyway, Keto Fest is so fun. They have
It
cooking
is.
classes, they have a pig roast, they have a lot of social stuff, they have vendors, they have lots and lots of good talks.
If you're in New England,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta come.
Also, it's so pretty there.
Yep.
It's so pretty. I want to go like a week ahead of time and just wander the town.
Well,
All
it's
the
so funny.
houses are pretty, the buildings, the businesses are like the little old-timey houses. They're so cute.
Well, it's like you're driving along the highway, and there's just these giant magnificent trees.
Oh,
hardwood
it's
trees.
so pretty. You can't see past the trees to what's
Yeah, it's
beyond
like
the trees.
Google Maps says there's a Walmart here, but
We're
I don't
in
see
Utah,
it.
it's wide open spaces, but when you're there, you're like, I see trees. And
Yep.
also trees. There's also some
And
trees.
rolling hills of trees.
So if you go past the trees, there are, cute little houses, but I love it there. It's so cute.
Yep. Alex says, I have previously done 4 ounces of cold brew concentrate, replacing 4 ounces of water with chocolate peanut butter, and it's worked well. But I want to say I've noticed a stool size increase with the concentrate, which might lead to this concern. So, and that actually probably isn't an absorption issue.
So I wonder if you did like 2 ounces instead of 4 ounces.
Yeah.
That would make a difference. Or even 3.
And that could just be the amount of water that your body is holding on to. I don't know,
yeah,
it's a
that'd
good
be
question.
interesting. How much water did you drink that day?
Because stool size doesn't seem like that would go along
Experiment
with...
by Alex. All the coffee experiments.
Yeah. That's a really good question. I don't have any personal experience with that. So let's see, what were we talking about? Okay, so there's Keto Fest.
Keto Fest.
Then there'll be Keto Con.
I thought one was before. Well, I don't just remember where they're.
Yep.
They have the low carb USAs. There's multiple of them this year. There's the Metabolic Health Summit. We're thinking about maybe going to that. I'm thinking about.
The Metabolic Health Summit, the one that's in Long Beach
Yeah.
in January.
Oh yeah. No, I think about the September one. The epilepsy one. There's an epilepsy
Oh, is there an epilepsy one?
conference. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I have that on the low carb events yet.
You do.
Oh, I do? Oh,
Just can't remember what it's called. Anyway, there's lots of conferences and they're so fun, and we like to go to them and visit and chat with all our keto family.
Miriam wants to go to Maria Emmerich's
I want
keto
to go to
in
Maria
Italy.
Emmerich's Italy so bad.
But I don't think there are any spots, which is good because we have kids
There
that
are
we can take care of.
probably not. It's 2
Hi,
weeks
Julia.
long.
I'm sorry, Julia.
Rome. Rome.
By the way, Alex says he drinks 2.5 liters of water a day.
Oh,
So that's probably not the issue. But
good job.
anyway, so let's see. Did we have any?
That's all we got. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Our dishwasher's beeping at us. It's time for it to be cleaned out.
We can get a kid to do that.
Well, he's not here yet.
He'll get home.
He will get home.
Yeah, we have our kids do jobs. They have a job for 2 weeks. The same job for 2 weeks.
And they didn't do it while we were gone.
And the jobs are, if you would like to know, garbage and chickens.
Yes, because we have
Dishes.
backyard chickens.
Yes.
And somebody needs to take care of them. And it's not going to be me or else they're going to be food.
And they have to clean up the poop because they poop like crazy.
Oh my gosh, they poop like crazy.
And then dishes is a job. Counters is a job because we have a lot of counters.
Yep.
And the floor is a job. So you have to clean out the Roomba vacuum and clean up the floor if you didn't clean up the Roomba vacuum.
And
Every
mop.
day, pull out the stools and the chairs and mop once a week. What else?
Bathrooms.
Bathrooms and kitchen table.
Yep.
Which kitchen table is not that big of a deal, but if you set it and then unset it 3 times a day, unset it, clean it off. How do you say that?
Let's set the table and clean off the table.
Yeah. And with everybody coming in and going and leaving all their stuff all the time, then it's a job.
Now, Paula, she's talking about Italy. And she says, not a good country for a carb-free diet. That's true.
But if
Italy,
you're going with Maria Emmerich
Yeah.
and they already have a menu planned,
Yeah, and she did one last year and posted all about it. And Miriam's like, I want to go.
I want to go so bad.
And I actually looked at the cost and I was like, how about we buy a car instead?
We could buy a car, but it wouldn't have Maria Emmerich in it.
It might have Maria Emmerich in it. Craig is super nice. He
I doubt
might
it.
get her. As long as we take the boys,
No.
her boys, which are really
They
a lot
like
of fun.
their boys. They don't want to give them away.
No, we'd take them like for a ride. And she would come along.
Okay.
We almost had Craig Emmerich in our car the other day.
We did almost have him in our
And we
He's
ran out of
really
space.
nice.
He is super nice.
They're all so nice. We love them so much.
At Keto Con this last year,
Was it
her
Keto
boys
Con?
were just running around and having the funnest
They were
time.
so fun.
They were super bored, you could tell, because both
Mm-hmm.
of their parents were manning a booth and it was
Talking
no
to
fun.
everybody.
But yep. We like going to the keto conferences just because it's so much fun to interact with people who are doing keto.
Yeah.
And some of the conferences are really expensive. Other ones of them aren't that bad. Low Carb Denver is one of the cheaper ones.
Mm-hmm. And it's close by.
And different ones have
Us.
different aims. If you're a doctor, you definitely want one of the ones that does the continuing education credits. But those conferences generally tend to be more sciencey and less, I don't know.
Mainstream.
Well, less for the rabble.
Masses.
Keto Fest is one of the ones that's definitely for the rabble. Carl
But they have
and Richard.
sciencey stuff.
They do.
They kind of have both.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a fun environment.
It is.
Fest.
And last year last year, 2017, we went to Keto Fest. Oh, yeah, I got my shirt on.
Was that the first one?
Keto Fest. Confounder. We went. That was the first one. We went there, and we just went there to enjoy it. It was really a lot of fun. Hello.
Hi.
What is
Hello,
that?
ladies.
Hello, ladies.
That's hiding. You weren't supposed to find that.
What's? Huh? Okay. Anyway, so we went to Keto Fest just to enjoy it, and it was a lot of fun.
Haley,
What?
And I think
come
Mom-
show everybody your cute shirt.
It's a,
Was my shirt not cute enough now?
says I find your lack of cheer disturbing.
Look at how cute her shirt is. We have the same one. Audrey, do you have a cute shirt on? You can show everybody your shirt.
I just have a stiff
Yesterday,
shirt.
wore
I
you
have
your
my Kate's jacket.
Nice.
Oh, you
pretty
should've.
nice.
Okay. Anyway, so this year when we went to
You're
Keto
out of
Fest,
focus. Okay, you can go. Thanks for saying hi.
we were just going to go and enjoy the conference, but then we got invited to be a vendor there. So, and I'm
And Low
hoping the
Carb
same thing
Houston
happens.
was really cool too. That was for
yeah,
doctors.
that was a lot of fun. But anyway, so if
Also,
you
there's
can,
barbecue in Texas.
there's barbecue in Texas.
If you didn't hear.
Paola wants to know: is there anything down here in Florida? There is.
Oh, there is a Low Carb USA
Mm-hmm.
in Florida.
Yeah,
Miami?
it's in West Palm Beach.
Oh, okay.
So if you go to lowcarbevents.com, you'll find it.
We can link it there.
Yeah, hold on a
In a
second.
minute.
My glucometer wants me to read it. There we go.
Everybody look at Chris's armpit.
This is my armpit,
Gross.
and there's my. Oh, what is that thing? Go away. Oh my gosh, my phone is deciding it's time for notifications.
It's because you lifted it up.
Ooh,
You can
there we
kinda
go.
see it.
See, there's my glucose
This
for
is
the last.
a Freestyle Libre. Oh, you can see us.
Yeah, you can see us in the thing. Anyway, Anyway,
You can see it.
there's my glucose for the last 24 hours. This means that I am not diabetic.
No, diabetes.
And
Not
apparently, all the
diabetes.
stuff I've eaten for the last 24 hours,
That was pretty good.
pretty good. Anyway, oh, there you go. Lori posted it.
Yay, Lori, thanks.
Let's see. Okay, Long Beach. My son lives there. Want to go to that? You should. The Low Carb USA ones, they tend to be kind of spendy, just so that you're aware.
Oh, were they?
The Palm Beach one probably won't be as bad as the one in San Francisco. That one was, I think it was like
I
$500 or
don't
$600.
remember how much it costs.
Yeah, we didn't go, but
Well, we can know. You guys look it up.
well, because
Google it.
Steak and Iron, the guy on Twitter,
Twitter.
he had said something about, oh yeah, there isn't one in. What are you doing? Close the freezer. Yeah, you found that. It's beeping at us. Close the freezer.
Show everybody what you're talking about.
But he wanted to go to one where he was at, Rebel.
It's out of focus.
It is out of focus.
Get closer. Haley wants to ask if she can have some Rebel ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say? Are your chores done?
Ice cream.
Good luck finishing the whole thing.
Are your chores done? Are you sure?
The chicken thing?
Anyway, so he wanted to go to the one in San Francisco, but he was like, whoa, that's way too expensive.
Oh, really?
Apparently the one in,
But they have good speakers, and
yeah,
they're
they
fun.
do. The one in West Palm Beach is $300.
That's
So-
not too bad.
No, well, if we do one here in Utah, it's going to be like crazy cheap because we're not trying to make any money on it.
We just want to help people have better resources for keto. That's what it is.
Alex says he's looking forward to getting his order of chocolate and banana to do a mix fest.
Mix Fest!
Yeah. Let's see. Sierra says, me and my husband love the sample pack we received. We're excited to try Keto Chow full force. Thank you for everything you guys do. You're awesome. Yes, we are. So are you.
Thank you, Sarah. I think you're awesome.
And let's see. Banana is
Say
our
hi.
favorite.
Hi.
If you ever come to
kids got
Arizona, we will definitely be there. We should
Let's
get
meet for dinner.
Well, Doc Muscles needs to set something up. That's his.
Oh, his domain.
Yeah, his domain.
Does he have stuff?
I'm sure he has stuff. He probably does local stuff, but I'm sure there's a meetup.
You should tell us. You should find out.
So Weston wants to know what I ate today. So on my graph, I had a whole bunch of sausage that I cooked in the oven, and
Kate's saying hi.
I had there was leftover stuff from Five Guys that was in the fridge. So we
What
kind
are
of
you talking about? I wasn't listening.
what I ate today. On my graph, it was super level.
Yes, Five Guys yesterday.
Yeah, and so we made that into kind of a frittata.
It was really good. Sausage and bacon and tomatoes
And jalapenos and
green
onions and
peppers
mushrooms.
and
And
eggs
a whole bunch of cheese.
and cheese.
Yeah, and people were like,
What
"That's
did
really
we have
good."
for lunch? We had chicken legs and thighs for lunch. A little bit of like kale, some kind
Yep.
of kale something. It was really good though.
Yep.
We don't know what it was, but
Then for dinner, Miriam and I split a keto chow as we were driving home.
yep, it was good.
Yep.
It was chocolate.
Continuing education,
I
is
wanted
that
to
a
warm it
fun one? So continuing education is what doctors need to get in order to maintain their certifications or something. So a lot of the conferences, in order to attract doctors, which is a good thing, that's one of the things you want, they will apply for continuing education credits so that when the doctors go to the shows, to the conferences and learn all the stuff,
Dishes are waiting for you, Matt.
it counts
Yeah,
towards
sorry.
their continuing education. Ones like Low Carb Breckenridge and now Low Carb Denver, they also use the hook of, hey, it's skiing as well.
Yeah.
So
Skiing?
skiing.
Skiing, on the snow with some skis.
So anyhow, so that's about it. Max just opened up the dishwasher,
Dishwasher.
which just finished, and so it's all steamy.
So he just got a little facial.
Yep. So I think that's about it. How
Yep,
long have
I
we
don't
gone
think we
on
have
for?
anything. Well,
More
the
than
kids
an
are
hour.
home, so we're
Yeah.
good. We're so glad that you guys decided to talk to us today, and we're happy to answer questions and chat with you. And
Kate, your cheeks look cold.
yeah, she looks cold like she was outside. It is cold here. It's
And you look out
22
of focus.
degrees,
Is it
not
22?
11 like it was in Park City earlier.
It was crazy.
So I'm sure it's colder now because it's nighttime.
There was an art installation by Bansky. It was right next to
Banksy.
the Banksy.
Looks like Banks. Why?
I thought it was Bansky.
I guess we need to look it up.
Somebody's gonna correct
It
me.
was a graffiti guy.
Yeah. Anyway, it's right next to the restaurant where we ate, and we were standing out there, and one of the ladies who we were with is like, "How cold is it?" And I looked at the thing. I was like, it was 11 degrees. Feels like 1.
It was really cold.
So
It's really cold up there.
it was.
What's the elevation in Park City?
The thing on the
Like 7,000 feet?
no, it said 6,000 feet.
Yeah, I
it
didn't
said,
feel like it was that high.
"Be aware you're at 6,000 feet, so stay hydrated and be wary of alcohol." Because the higher you up are in elevation, I think it even said 1 drink is the equivalent of 3 at this altitude.
Oh, huh.
So
Well, ever since we went to Breckenridge, I'm a little more concerned. I mean, not concerned, just aware of elevation. Because I've never got elevation sickness before, and I felt it.
Oh, yeah,
at
Breckenridge?
8,000 feet.
no, it was at 9,000 feet.
Oh, 9,000 feet.
Yeah, it
Because we're
was-
at like 4,500 right here. So that's pretty high. So I'm used to being pretty high
Yeah.
compared to sea level. So going up to 9,000 feet was like, wow.
I can imagine
see
what
why
the people
they're
from
like
the coast were
California,
like. Oh man.
yeah.
But and Paola says they're 86 where they're at.
Oh, wow, that's so high.
We should come visit you because
You should come visit us and then run around in a circle and you'll be amazingly fast. Because
one of our kids carved Sam with an exclamation point into the snow. They
Today?
trumped it out because they were looking for Sam and they figured they would call for him in the snow.
Yeah, that's great. That doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Oh yeah, Palo Alto's in
Elevation.
Miami, so that makes sense. Yeah, it'd be 86.
86.
Yeah.
And Christine says, "I love you guys. You're so much. You
Fun
are so much,
and
and you are
informative.
so fun and informative. I look forward to hearing your knowledge."
Oh, you're so awesome. I'm going to learn something for next time so I
There
can
you
tell
go.
you.
Oh,
Okay, what?
So
Did you learn something?
No, I told about something.
Okay.
In the youth activity today, the guys were all like, "Oh yeah, you guys have the same body temperature of us." And I'm like, "No, you guys have more brown fat cells naturally." It's so great.
Oh, the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm sure they wanted
those
to hear that.
those fat cells with the mitochondria in it. Once again, darn you, Ben Bickman.
He's so awesome.
Alex says, "Wow, up here in Wisconsin, it's only 29 degrees."
Oh, Wisconsin's supposed to be colder.
Yeah, and it's Wisconsin.
Ooh, right now it's 17.
17.
17 degrees.
So, yeah, and we actually have snow on the ground.
Yeah, usually it's not this cold this early in the year. Well, I guess it's
No,
not that
actually
early.
it is.
In
but-
December, well, last year we had like no winter at all.
Yeah,
So,
but the year before we had a ton.
yeah, I'm excited
Was
we get
that the
winter.
one?
I just don't want to drive in it. And our daughters are learning how to drive in the snow this year, so I'm okay if there's not that much snow. But I do like the snow.
Well, it needs to snow in the mountains.
We need the snow.
Notice I say mountains.
Not
mountains.
mountains.
And really, I should say mountains.
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 Yeah.
Mountains.
Oh, ours mostly melted. It's been raining, Cass.
Wow.
In Wisconsin?
Alec.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Okay. Well, you got anything
Okay.
else?
Well, have a good
No?
day. Have a
Everybody,
good day, guys.
have a good night
Sleep tight.
and all that stuff. So, bye.
Dream of keto tonight.